Today's episode of Nerdy Dating, we talk about the box theory. If a guy says he wants to sleep with you, he says he wants a relationship, or he only sees you as friend, he's going to keep you in that box and he's never going to change it at all. And he wants to know if that's true or not. We also talk about gaming with a girl whose boyfriend is mentioning a girl at gaming and they're gaming all night and day, and she wants to know, is that a problem, and she be concerned. And we also talk about, do people catch feelings in casual relationships? I don't know. Find out now on this episode of Nerdy Dating. Enjoy. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I am your host, Zakka. Thank you guys for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe, share with your friends and family, let people know about this podcast. And I'm just a nerd from Kansas City to help other people date. If I can date and have a successful relationship, so can you. So please go ahead and continue to follow and listen. And today our first topic is about the box method. There are going to be three videos. This first one is one girl's perspective of it. Then I have another girl's perspective of it, who's supposed to be the real one who started it all. And then I have Matthew Hussey from Love Life. Probably gonna take about 10 minutes of this video, and I'm gonna break down his video regarding it, and then kind of give you guys the common man's perspective, or the common person's perspective on the box theory, and you know what my thoughts on it. And maybe you should keep this accountable, keep this in mind when you're dating in the world out there, or you probably shouldn't read too much into it and don't put yourself in this moment because it could just hinder you from dating. So this first video here, it is from Ashlyn Travels. Let's see what she has to say.
Okay guys, we have to talk about the box method. Tinks talked about it in her book, The Shift, but it is literally the realest thing I have ever read. So basically, whenever a guy meets you, he puts you in one of three boxes. It's either he wants nothing to do with you / just friends, he wants to sleep with you, or he wants to date / marry you. And you cannot move from box to box. Once a guy meets you, he immediately figures out which box that you're in. And that's that. There's no changing his mind. And so that's the exact reason why you have the guys who literally will always treat you like a hookup, who just want to date you, or who literally will not let you become more than a friend. And even if you do switch, you're not really switching. You're just not. And I literally have examples of this. So my favorite thing is to try to become friends with my exes after we break up. It literally never works. I have had multiple exes who, even if they know I'm in good intention and trying to just stay friends, they're like, I can't stay friends with you. This is just, I will not be your friend. And because I've been placed in the girlfriend box and they don't want to move me. And then there are certain guys where from the get-go, it is literally always just friends. And you know it's always just friends. And if you hook up with your guy friend or you make it more than friends, what happens? They stop being your friend because you were always supposed to be just a friend. And then there's those sweetie pies that always see you as a girlfriend or a wife. And if you don't want that, they won't talk to you because you are only going to be a girlfriend / wife to them, and you will not be a friend. And they aren't just going to hook up with you either, because even if they do hook up with you, it's because they think you're going to become more. So that may have been really confusing, but just follow that golden rule and read what the guy is acting like to you. If he's treating you like a friend, you're just a friend. And of course, there's probably exceptions to the rule, but I don't think that often.
Okay, so there's parts in here that I kind of want to break down and actually dive into this, because so the box rule, the guy's putting you in three different boxes, which I've said before. A guy, he is not going to put you in three different boxes right off the bat. If you're talking to a dude, trying to get to know a dude, he is going to right off the bat, if anything else, he's going to find you attractive enough to hook up with. He wants to sleep with you. That's going to be the bare minimum. Now, what's going to change that from just a hookup is going to come down to personality. Your personality, like I said before, your looks going to get you to the house, get you to the door, but your personality keeps the guy in the house and keeps him in there. So I want to go back to her because she said she likes to do things where, like, once she likes to, after she gets done breaking up with somebody or go from boyfriend mode relationship, she like to be friends with her exes. Here's the problem with that, and make sure I got the context right
here. I have
here.
had examples of this. So my favorite thing is to try to become friends with my exes after we break up. It literally never works. I have had multiple exes who, even if they know I'm in good intention and trying to just stay friends, they're like, I can't stay friends with you. This is just, I will not be your friend. And because I've been placed in the girlfriend box.
No, the heart doesn't break even. It's not because you've been placed in the girlfriend box. There are couples, friends, people out there who have dated each other who didn't work out, and they realize you're just a friend. We're not breaking from this. We're not going to cross that boundary again. They respect each other's boundaries and respect each other's future relationships. The guy who doesn't want to stay friends with you after a breakup is probably because his heart was broken up. He was hurt. He doesn't want to continue to put himself in a situation and see you move forward. Is it selfish of him? Yes, but he don't want to see you move forward with somebody else when he's going through it, because that's what it could have been. Y'all could have been that together, but you didn't want that. So he's not going to stay around for that.
They don't want to move me. And then there are certain guys where from the get-go, it is literally always just friends. And it's always just friends. And if you hook up with your guy friend or you make it more than friends, what happens? They stop being your friend because you were always supposed to be just a friend.
No, that's not the case. If you hook up with a guy and he would just want to be friends, and he get the opportunity to hook up with you, and he stop being your friends because he didn't want more from you than just the hookup. And the fact that he thinks, okay, we hooked up, now she might want more from me. She might think I'm a potential partner. I don't want that with her, so I'm gonna dip on out of here. So either he was a player and he just wanted to hook up, or two, he doesn't know how to navigate his feelings and he doesn't really want to be somebody in there where he's considered, he doesn't know where you guys stand at. It could be awkward because maybe you want to be friends and he doesn't want to be friends, or he wanted to be friends but now you might want a potential relationship, so therefore he's going to move on. He's not going to stay in that. And then the last one,
then there's those sweetie pies that always see you as a girlfriend or a wife, and if you don't want that, they won't talk to you because you are only going to be a girlfriend / wife to them, and you will not be a friend. And they aren't just going to hook up with you either, because even if they do hook up with you, it's because they think you're going to become more. So,
yeah, they want a relationship. And they're not going to put themselves in a situation to be around somebody who doesn't want that relationship either. They're not going to sit there and wonder, oh, what she wants more? Did she want more? Did she not want more? Did she want more? No. If they're content with being in a relationship, they want to be in a relationship, those guys will leave and say, I'm not going to be around with somebody who's going to waste my time. I'm looking to find a potential partner and find somebody who wants me for me, not me just because they want to keep their Rolodex around or their roster around. Not saying that she's doing that, just saying these are what those guys are thinking of. So the whole box theory, at the end of the day, every guy, if you're, especially you start off on dating apps and trying to meet somebody, every guy wants to hook up. That's going to be the bare minimum. That is not going to be something where those guys going to be like, oh, I start with friends first and then we'll get into the relationship and then we'll go. No. They were like, I'm trying to smash. And then from there, we'll see if I can make a relationship out of this. There'll be guys who will, hey, let me get to know her up front. And they say that I'm looking for a relationship. They're going to be like, let me take my time. Let me get to talk to her. Let me get to meet her. Let me get to know who she's about before I decide to hook up with her. And there'll be guys who right off the bat, like, I'm looking to hook up. And then they think about relationship later and realize, oh, we're not a good partner for each other. And then they're like, well, I'm gonna get around. Or they be like, all right, I'm gonna hook up, and she still wanna keep me around. Well, I'll just stay around. We'll hook up. We become casual or friends with benefits, and always avoiding the relationship. You'll find those guys, but at the end of the day, every dude who's talking to you, who wants to get to know you on more than just a friend level, they want to hook up, and you gotta take it at face value. They want to hook up with you. It's the first thing, and then from there, the next thing will be, and what I want to hook up be right off the bat, or it's gonna be a little bit different. But the next thing is that they will think like, hey, can this person be a potential partner? Can this person just be only a hookup? Is this person going to be, somebody I'm never going to see again? I don't know. Let me think about this. So right out the bat, all one of those dudes, every single last one of them will have the idea in mind that at least, the very least, I want to hook up with her. And then from there, circumstances and situations going to come up where, you know what, I don't want to treat her like just a person. I want to know, not a person. I don't want to treat her just like an object. I want to get to know her, or I'm not just gonna look at her as just a person to hook up with. I'm going to get to know her and get to see if she's something more than just a physical connection or a sexual connection. They want to see there's something more than emotional. And there will be guys who do that. So that is her version of the box theory. I do want to go ahead and dive into the Matthew Hussey podcast, the Love Life podcast, and see what their version is of the box theory and see if it matches the same, because maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is her take on it, and let's see what the others take on the box theory is. But to me, as of right now, I think this is a very dangerous game that you could be playing. So let's see what Matthew Hussey's side of things have to
used it
say.
Before, then make sure you get on board.
Yeah, we're not doing ads. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Love
so
Life
the
podcast.
inspiration for this episode was this particular TikTok clip that went viral.
Inspired a lot of discussion and debate. And some articles that I read.
Very good. Well, we're going to play this clip right now for everyone out there watching or listening.
This is my theory. When men meet you in a romantic setting, they put you in a box. Either they want to date you, they want to sleep with you, or they want nothing to do with you. It's very difficult to shift from box to box. And your behavior doesn't really affect what box you're in to a guy. So if he meets you and he's like, I want to date this girl, you could puke on his shoes and sleep with him on the first night, and it wouldn't matter. Vice versa, if he meets you and he just wants to hook up, you could make him wait 3 months to sleep with you. It's not going to change that. Women are so different. Meet a guy and we're like, oh, he's just for fun. Then 3 weeks later, we're sitting down a brunch with our friends being like, so I'm thinking about Tuscany for our wedding. Developed this theory because for the years I've noticed with me and my friends, it doesn't matter when you decide to sleep with someone. And I get asked this question all the time, Tinks, how long should I make him wait? What about the 3-date rule? What about the 5-date rule? Sleep with him when you are ready. Waiting to sleep with someone doesn't guarantee that he's going to view you as relationship material. Again, sleep with him when you are good and ready. That's the only thing that matters. And don't worry about it.
Interesting.
I don't...
You know what? Before we hop into Matthew's point of view, I think her view is a lot better. Hers is more romantic situation. Sleep with him when you want to sleep with him. So you put somebody in a box there, oh, I'm not going to sleep with him because he might see me only as a friend. I'm not going to sleep with him because he probably only wants to hook up. I'm not going to sleep with him because he wants a relationship, but I want to make sure he's actually in it for the long haul. You play that game with some dudes, you're going to find yourself in a situation where that guy is going to take advantage of the situation. He's going to play the long haul. He's going to like, oh, I'll get to, wait 3 weeks and I get to hook up. Wait 3 months, I'll hook up. Okay, cool. And then there'll be guys who are like, no, I'm in it for the long haul. We could hook up on day one, and I'm going to see this to the very end, and that's going to end with wedding bells and rings and whatnot. So it depends on, when it comes to sleeping up with somebody, hooking up with somebody, or sleeping with somebody, it depends on what you want in that situation. Do you want to sleep with this dude, or do you not want to sleep with this dude? Don't put your table for sleeping with somebody in their palm of their hand. Are you comfortable with sleeping with somebody? Go for it. If you're not comfortable with sleeping with somebody, don't do it. No, wait till you're comfortable. So if that's the box theory in that sense and that ideal of it, agree with her on that. Sleep with somebody when you want to sleep with her. Doesn't matter whether or not they gonna be around for day one or they want to be a friend or whatever. That doesn't matter. Don't give that person that power. You own the power. You own when you sleep with somebody. That's what you should do. Now, let's see what Matthew Hussey has to say on this topic as well, and see what his viewpoint is, because it might be a little bit interesting from what he was starting off with. So we will see.
think I agree with anything that was just said.
I'm going to play it back a little bit.
Well, this is why I wanted to bring...
And sleep with him when you are good and ready. That's the only thing that matters. And don't worry about it.
Interesting.
I don't think I agree with anything that was just said.
Okay. Well, this is why I wanted to bring
start.
this.
There was a lot of assertions in this. Also, what's interesting is the gender difference that's being claimed to be true. That if you're a guy, you've decided what box a woman is in. Because that was what she was asserting, right?
Right.
If you're a guy, you decide what box a woman is in. And I think, what were the three she gave? They either want to date you, sleep with you, or not interested at all.
Yeah.
I think she put it, want nothing to do with you. Brutal. But that's, if you're a guy apparently, and you don't, like, whatever happens, you keep someone in that box. But if you're a woman, if you're having, you can say, oh, this guy is just a bit fun, and then a week later you're talking about it as something serious. That actually goes against what a lot of men have as a theory, right? A lot of guys, you'll hear guys say, like, if she's put you in the friend zone, you're screwed. Right. You're not getting out of there.
That's true.
So it's kind of interesting to hear it said.
Well, she's not saying the friend zone, right? She's saying like a bit of fun. So she's saying if you're romantically interested enough to be sleeping with the person, to be like dating the guy. It's confusing with dating, because dating to me is like English dating, where you go on dates rather than like wanting
she
a
means
relationship.
like they either want to date you, like be in a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. They want like they exactly want a relationship with you. They want commitment from you. But I think what she's saying is that if a woman is dating a guy and, you know, just like going on a few dates, sleeping with him and all of that stuff, that, you know, attraction often builds. Even if she went off in the beginning, she started off saying, oh, it's not like going to be anything serious. She's not talking about breaking out the friend zone.
This would be to suggest that there is nothing you can do to get someone to take you more seriously, which presupposes that there was a point in time where a man just sized you up and said, I just want to sleep with her. That is all I'm interested in.
But do you think that does happen on early dates, where you will go on a date with somebody? And I think we can make this gendered for the purpose of this video, because I think that
the video made it
the video
gendered.
is gendered.
Yeah.
So do you think there's any modicum of truth to the fact that when you go on a date with a guy, within the first date or the second date, he has already decided whether or not he is going to take you seriously and potentially like commit to you, or just sees you as a little bit fun?
Well, hang on though, because what did she say? When did she suggest this happens?
In the beginning. She didn't say when, but she's suggesting it's early on.
But that's
So the guy know off the bat whether or not he wants to sleep with her or date her. I've said it before, it comes down to every guy, if you're expecting, especially in a romantic sense, going on a date with somebody, every guy is going to automatically want to hook up. He's not going to go on a date with her without the intention to at some point thinking I can hook up with her. I would say he doesn't have the intention to hook up. He probably, but eventually, one point or another, he wants to take the relationship into a more sexual situation. That's the difference between a friend and somebody he's dating. So, right off the bat, the guy is already sexually attracted to the lady. That's why he's on a date with her. If everything goes, I guess, if nothing else happened out of this conversation, if they hook up, a guy's not going to be disappointed. Put it that way. Now, would he say he knows he wants to date this girl for like a long term? For like, to end, to death do us apart? On date 1 or date 2? The possibility could be there for date 1, for date 2 if he had a really good first date. But I wouldn't say that he's sitting there right off the bat saying, yeah, this right here about to be my wife. This right here about to be my favorite person. Date 1, let's go. Before you had that opportunity to get to know who she is, know her personality. If you met her on a dating app, yeah, you can see what her profile is like and what she might be about. But maybe her personality sucks in person, and vice versa. Maybe his personality sucks in person. So to say that right off the bat, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, no, she's gonna be marriage material. There's not really a way to figure that out on date 1. Date 1 is literally just to go get to know each other and have a good time and see what happens. And maybe I want to go on date 2. That's what date 1 should be. Good conversation. Okay, we might go to date 2. Good banter with each other. Okay, we might go to date 2. But to say that, oh no, this girl right here off date 1 is automatically, just sleep material, or we're going to hook up with each other. That's all we are, casual hookups. That's hard to say. All right, let's see what
really big
they continue to talk about here.
Thing, right? Because if we're saying what they've decided by the end of a date, well, you've had a whole date to influence.
But I think
that
she's
decision.
She's still saying though, like if you go on a date and you make a certain impression, men will then put you in one of 3 boxes. That's what she's saying. And then she's saying once you're in that box, it doesn't matter if the second date you're like, amazing and do all of the right things, you're already in that box. And so
I think it's more
they
like
won't take you seriously.
I think it's more like you might disqualify someone because some clash of values comes up really early, or wow, this person is so different to me that this isn't going to work. You can see something like that in the first 2 dates where you go, they're really nice or they're attractive, but like we have no intellectual connection, we have no emotional connection, and that could make you immediately put them in a box but that's a thing that's unlikely to change because it's fundamental to your differences. So it's not like something on the third date is gonna make them a different person.
What would be an example?
Like I don't know, maybe you have completely different idea of where you see your life in the next few years, or your personality. Maybe their personality is just a certain way where you're like, they're too loud for me, they're too obnoxious, they argue, like you get into an argument and you're like, I'm a chill person, and they're turning everything into a debate or something. You're like, oh, I can't deal with that. Like, personality stuff. Then you're like, you might instantly go, this isn't going to work. Like, we might have a nice time, but...
So you're sort of saying that if someone's decided they're disinterested in you, that's unlikely to change. And if they're a man, maybe they'll still sleep with you because they physically maybe are attracted to you. But if they realize like there's no relationship potential because we're so different, then that disinterest, it's kind of in a way the boxes merge there, because it's both, they might put you in the sleep with you and disinterested category. Well, she said want nothing to do with you. The middle ground for a lot of men is I might not see this person as someone I want a relationship with, but I do still want to sleep with them for a bit of fun. So it's not that I want nothing to do with them. It's just that I'm not interested enough for a relationship.
Yeah,
I do want to sleep with them. What you're saying is there are certain things.
That's exactly right there what I was saying the whole time. So a guy will sleep with a lady even though he doesn't want a relationship with her. Even though he might not see a future with her, he will still sleep with a lady. So ladies, if you're thinking about this box theory, don't even put yourself... Don't do that to yourself and saying, oh, well, I've been put into a square box. I've been put into not interested box, or just the friend box, or doesn't want anything to do with you box. Don't do that to yourself, because you do that to yourself, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're constantly putting your dating options in the hands of somebody else versus asking yourself, what do you want? This person make you feel comfortable? Do I like this person? Do I want to sleep with this person? Put the power back in your hands when it comes to dating. Don't give that to somebody else and let them dictate how you date somebody. Just saying. All right, moving on. Before I jump into Reddit, I did get a question from a viewer, and they asked the question was, when it comes to down there, is it better to keep a bush or keep it shaved? And is it considered polite or considered not if you keep it shaved or keep a bush? And when I got this question, I sat there and thought about it for a moment, and my answer, when it comes to pubic hair and comes to the bush, the bush, actually, let's just call it that for slang. It comes down to what you and your partner want to do when it comes to that. It also comes down to yourself. Do you like to keep a bush? That's fine, cool. But let's say if you like receiving oral, does your partner have some kind of way when they go down on you and they come up with hair in their mouth, and they bring that to your attention, like, hey, I got a long string of hair. Yes, that sounds disgusting, but the fact of getting hair in your mouth. But your partner likes to say, hey, could you keep it trimmed a little bit, please, just so I can go down and make sure that you also come at the same time and make sure we're both having a good time when it comes to sexy time. So my answer to that is definitely have a conversation with you and your partner. What's your thoughts on it? Do you want to keep a bush? Do you not want to keep a bush? And then if you and your partner like to go down on each other, have that conversation of like, okay, I love to go down on you, but also I prefer not to have a bunch of hair when I go down there, because I want to make sure that, you come and I'm not getting hair in my mouth. So I think what you need to do is have that conversation with your partner. Talk to them, see how they feel about it. And they're like, oh, okay, that's the reason behind it. And I'll keep it trimmed or shaved or whatever the case may be. It might not be full shave, might be trimmed up a little bit. So that way, when you go down and want to pleasure your partner, you don't come back up with a bunch of hair in your mouth. So that is my answer. Have that conversation with your partner and, have that talk about how you guys want to keep your nether regions kept, I should say. All right, moving on. First Reddit question. Here we go. What's your most shallow opinion when it comes to dating? For instance, I go to the gym almost every day and eat a strict diet. I do enjoy eating out every once in a while and treating myself, but I also enjoy being healthy. So I wouldn't want to go for someone who isn't active/fit. I don't think we will be compatible. Is that shallow? ? My logic is, if I'm putting all this work and effort into myself, I want someone who does the same. Doesn't have to be the most ripped guy out there, but if you're at least trying, that's what matters. If I'm investing in myself, why would I go for someone who doesn't invest in themselves either? ? Do you have any shallow takes? One, that's not a shallow take. The gym, a healthy lifestyle is not a shallow take. That's actually a pretty important lifestyle when it comes to the dating world. You don't want to date somebody who doesn't take care of himself and doesn't want to go work out or doesn't want to stay fit or active, for the case of be. You don't want to date somebody who goes home and goes to bed and sleep and play video games or play card games or watch Netflix for 8 hours of the day or 9 hours or whatever the case may be. You want somebody who also be willing to go to the gym and want to take care of themselves as well. That is actually a lifestyle. That is not a shallow take at all. And you're not shallow for wanting somebody who also want to be active and fit. Now, like you said, you don't need the most ripped guy out there. Now, that right there would be like, well, they need to have six-pack abs. They need to make sure their biceps are 36 inches and their waist is 25 inches and their calves and quads are 46 inches. That sounds like a very horrible Like, I just made that stuff up. I have no idea what kind of proportion I just made, or the chest, and what's called is like, best in burl, and they're like, a 50-inch chest. I feel like I'm making a video game character that looks like, if I made a character, it'd probably look really disturbing right now if I did create a character. But anyway, that's what you're not asking for. You're not being super particular in the way your partner's built and where your partners look, because that will be shallow. You completely throw out their personality, but the lifestyle, the eating healthy and being active, that is a lifestyle. You don't want to date somebody who doesn't match your lifestyle. That's 100% fair, and that's not a shallow take at all. And I say you should date somebody who matches your lifestyle, because you want to have that conflict of, well, you're always at the gym. Well, I'm at the gym because I'm want to stay healthy, want to stay fit. You're always going out and drink at the bar all day long. Like, you want somebody who's like, all right, we'll go for a drink and eat out every once in a while, but you don't want somebody who's eating Chipotle and Chick-fil-A every single day. It's not a shallow take. Very honest. You're not being shallow for dating somebody who wants an active lifestyle like you do. All right, next one. I want to double text and ask her out for the date directly. Hi, I need advice that may also help my future matches also. I'm 27 male and matched with a 25 female. We chatted a little and talked about some general things and our hobbies, and she responded well. But there was like 1 or 2 hours between our responses for both of us. After her last message, I responded to them and asked question about her, but she hasn't responded in 2 days yet. Now, as I usually get few matches and also I like her vibe, and think with myself that now that double texting won't make it worse, as there is nothing now. I want to know, is it okay to double text? I want to ask directly for a date in the double text and nothing else. If it been 4 hours and you're asking to set up a date, go for it. Send a double text like, hey, I was thinking I'd like to take you on a date. Are you available? Or when are you available? Are you available this weekend? I'll take you on a date this weekend. Or, hey, I'm free this upcoming Friday. Are you available? I'll take you on a date. You can definitely do that. Matter of fact, it's been 1 or 2 days. She's probably moving on. So you might want to reach out and say, hey, I was just thinking about you a few days ago, or last couple of days, and would like to get to know you more. Might take you on a date. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with that, because you're actually setting up a text to build up something more. Now, if you're just double texting to talk about, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? No, don't do that. But you're texting with intention and texting to get to a date, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. All right, we'll do 2 more and call it a day. Can my boyfriend game with girls? So my boyfriend, 26 male, and me, 26 female, have been together for about 5 years. Recently, he and his mates were playing one of his on/off favorite games online when they met a girl. They added her to the Discord and started talking to her. A couple of days later, I found out that he also added her on Snapchat as well. So for the last couple of weeks, he has been playing with her every night since they met, and it's bothering me. The reason is because he's never taken interest. He has never taken interest in playing with girls previously, and I also told him that I didn't want him to sit and talk to her alone all night because I don't see why he would need that. But a couple of days ago, when I came into the room, he had been talking to her all night and into the morning hours. Before I came in to ask when he was coming to bed, I just don't know. Is it normal for girls or boys who game to have like gamer friends of the opposite gender who they sit and talk to all night? I'm genuinely asking because I don't know if it's normal or not. Help a girl out. Yes, it's normal. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm looking like all to the side and back like, really? Yes, it's normal to meet people of the opposite sex and game with them and have conversations with them. Now, are you talking about like personal things? That might be a problem, like as in like emotional things with the relationship, things that's going on. Like, are they talking about things like that? But if you're sitting next to him and they're just talking about this character or talking about this movie or talking about the Fortnite and what this person's doing and the character design, talking about like the game itself, what's the issue? You know what? You know, maybe you don't want to pick up gaming, fine. But at least you can sit with him and hear the conversations, hear what they're talking about. Also, is he gaming with just her or there's other people on there too? Snapchat thing, people have Snapchat. I wouldn't look too much into that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like got a Snapchat group about the gaming group, the gaming circle, whatever the case would be. Because same thing, she could have joined the Discord and they all got on there about the Discord and gaming. So I won't look too much into that. If you're really worried or concerned, start watching his actions and see what he does. Is he treating you differently? Is he taking more time to spend with her versus spending with you? If he's not taking you on dates, which was y'all been together for 5 years, are y'all still going on dates? Are y'all still having sexy time together and doing a bunch of stuff? But if that stuff is changing, y'all pretty much roommates, then there's a concern. Not the girl, but the fact that you guys are not interacting as a couple and not dating each other. So that's what I'll be more worried about. So watch the actions and see how he's going. Don't watch, oh, he's talking to a girl and it's going to be the girl who's the issue. No, it's not the girl who's the issue. The issue will become, are you guys communicating with each other? Are you guys going on dates? Are you guys still talking to each other? And I'm actually curious to see what other people in the comment section on this one is. So here we go. First one, okay, Adhesive said, it's okay to game together every now and then, but we're AF to do it every night, especially alone. Then Unknown Virgo said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with males and females gaming. As a female who games, I know there are clear boundaries when an individual has a partner. Hopefully neither party crosses those boundaries. However, I do find it weird if they are talking all hours of the night. I would definitely have a conversation with him and be straightforward with your feelings. I have numerous of my guy friends on social media, Instagram, Discord, Facebook, and game with them numerous times a week for years now. I may be too jealous. This is from Sophie Hay. I may be too jealous, but I think I would be jealous too. If it's just about gaming, why asking for the Snapchat? If I were you, I would openly talk with him and explain how you feel. From my little experience, talking, being open, and being honest is always the right thing to do. Yeah. Oh, he's another gamer girl. As a gamer girl, these are at very least a yellow flag. Guys and girls game together, obviously, but games aren't the issue here. Ask yourself, replace games with anything else. Is it still inappropriate behavior? He stays at work all night to talk to her. He stays out at the pub all night to talk to her. He goes swimming and stays out all night to talk to her. Games are the issue. The behavior is talking every day and occasionally all night in the situation is a flag for a crush. The person's gonna drop a book. I don't got time for that. If people were like, oh no, Snapchat is the worst thing, he added her on Snapchat, I wouldn't be sitting there adding, because like he could have a gaming community on Snapchat. There's other things that can go into it. I wouldn't look at that. My thing, I've been looking at how you guys' relationship is and where the communication is. You guys not communicating, you guys are just roommates. That's the issue. It's not the gaming girl, not the game. It's gonna be how you guys react to each other and how y'all handle each other's life, and if y'all communicating, going on dates, and still treating each other. Because if you guys were still going on dates, you guys were still confident with each other and trust each other, y'all wouldn't have that issue. But also, what's his past history like? Those are things you'll look at in this situation, be like, is it her or is it me? All right, last one, and we'll call it an episode. How do people not catch feelings in a casual relationship? Being someone who is only interested in relationships, I can never understand casual things. Since many people prefer casual relationships, I wonder how can you spend all this time with one person, one person, maybe even know things about each other and have a good time, but not want to date them. If anyone's boring me or we don't banter, I wouldn't hang out with them at all. It seems like if you're someone who engages in casual sex, that stuff doesn't matter, but how do you never become interested in them? I'm genuinely curious as I'm on the opposite side of things. I also want to ask, has anyone actually ended up dating someone they were in a casual relationship with, and what's your experience? People do catch feelings. Casual relationships only go so far. If you're like, hey, we're purely friends with benefits, we're not doing anything else, we're keeping our relationship casual. The thing is, somebody will catch feelings, and when somebody does catch feelings, that's when either they stop talking to each other or they decide to say, all right, well, let's see if we can make this something more. So that stuff happens. Yes, people do go from casual into a relationship. That happens too. Somebody will catch feelings in a casual relationship. That's how you become a situationship. Because one person wants one thing, and the other person wants another thing, and one person already told you what their thing is. I'm not moving from this. Another person like, well, I can change their mind. They just don't know the real me. Well, they know the real you. They don't want to get to know the real you either. They know the real you because they see one part of you and they don't want the other part, and they're like, oh, this is what my life is. So yeah, take it or leave it. So yes, people do go from casual to actual relationship, and people do catch feelings, but when somebody catch feelings, it's generally somebody else is going to be walking out the door, or they're going to be stuck in a situationship and they need to leave the door, but people don't want to do that. So yes, people catch feelings in casual relationships. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I appreciate y'all. Please continue to like, share, follow. Love you guys. See y'all in the next episode, and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating you want to put in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.